All right, starting lineups for the two squads. First, the Cougars. Number 3, senior 5'10", Ben Schumacher. Number 4, 5'11", senior Jaden Smith. Number 22, 5'10", senior Cannon Miller. Number 24, 6'1", junior Broderick Burns. And number 25, 6'3", senior Adam Stanton.
Cougars are coached by Stephen Harrell. Now introducing the home team on the scoreboard, the Greenwood Blue Jays. Number 1, sophomore Thomas Gilmore.
All right, sophomore, number 1, Thomas Gilmore, 6'1". Number 3, 5'10", senior Jace Foster. Number 4, 6'3", sophomore Kalen Hetzler. Number 11, 6' junior Ty Harrell. And number 24, 6'5", junior Caden Frederick. I was thinking that it was the taller kid that's not in uniform tonight that was such a good player against us last season in the tournament, but I think as I look here, it may have been number 4. He's a sophomore. I think Kalen Hetzler had a great game against us last season.
I would believe that. Number 4 has been very solid in this tournament. He's given problems to every team they've played, so
8 minutes on the clock for the varsity game. This is the championship of the 43rd annual Macaulay Warrior Classic, and the Cougars win the tip. Burns over to Schumacher, up to Smith at the top. Inside to Stanton, Miller for the three. Yes!
Yes, sir. That's a great start for the Cougars. And you can feel the intensity in the building.
Frederick goes through, gets 4 steps. Hetzler fighting for the rebound. Frederick gets it back. Foul called, and count the basket.
Well, that's not the first sequence we were looking for.
Foul called on Adam Stanton. Frederick too strong on the N1 opportunity. Burns quickly ahead to Smith. Burns on the right wing, up to Miller at the top. Miller picks up the dribble, gets to Burns on the right side. Looking to Smith at the key. Smith recircles out as it goes to Schumacher on the left side. Miller recircles to the top. Harrell defending. Greenwood in a 3-2, 1-2-2 type of zone. Schumacher on the right side. Cougars patient in their set. Miller flashes high into the corner for Burns. Burns tries to enter into Stanton, gets it to him. Stanton with the baby hook, and he finishes. Harrell across to Hetzler. Miller comes in. Stanton denies. Frederick's able to get it. Kicks it out to Harrell. One more into the corner for Foster. And Frederick, I think Frederick got called for the, they're both 24. Okay, it's called on Frederick. I couldn't tell if they were calling it on Broderick or Caden Frederick.
I wasn't sure for a moment either.
So foul goes on Frederick. Each of the bigs have 1 foul now, Stanton and Frederick.
Either way, Cannon Miller came down with a great rebound on that last sequence.
Miller picks up the dribble, looking for an option, gets Schumacher at the top. Over to Miller. Harrell and Foster at the top on the left side of the zone. Burns to Cannon Miller in the corner, trying to enter, it's not there. Back to Burns at the top. Burns being tightly defended by Harrell. Double team comes, Foster slaps the ball away. Foster through contact. Loose ball, Schumacher secures the rebound, trying to find an outlet. Ahead to Burns. Burns steps through, and a lot of contact. I think that goes against Harrell.
Yeah, big foul there against Broderick. Did a good job pressing in, staying strong. Well, I thought he was in his 2 steps. I thought that might be on the shot, but looks like they called it on the floor.
Miller, tough pass into Burns. Harrell defending tightly. Burns back to the top to Schumacher. Schumacher over to Miller on the right side. Looking to enter into Stanton, gets the bounce pass in. Flashback to Miller, rises up, tries to go off the glass and comes up short. Rebound by Gilmore for the Blue Jays.
It was a good look, and it was the right shot at the right time. Just didn't fall for Cannon.
Harrell at the top and makes the pass over to Foster as Foster was trying to direct traffic.
Yeah, man.
Goes out of bounds, turnover back to the Cougars.
Fortunate for the Cougars here. Feel like that's a rare turnover by Greenwood. I don't expect to see too many of those today.
Burns walks it up. Over to Schumacher on the left wing. Back to Burns at the top. Cougars really focusing on trying to get that entry into Stanton. I think he just needs to come a little bit higher into that space. That 3-2 zone has the space at the elbows. One more into the corner for Miller. He wants the 3. Yes!
2 for 2 for Cannon Miller to start the first period.
Foster. Back up top to Harrell. Over to Foster. He wants to answer, and he got it.
And he does.
Eight-5, 3-point lead for the Cougars. Into the corner for Smith. Back to Burns at the top. Miller on the left wing. Miller picks up his dribble, gets it back to Smith. Over to Schumacher. Miller flashes high. Stanton in that short corner. Smith on the right wing. Back to Broderick Burns at the top. Bounce pass into Schumacher, poked away from behind by Gilmore. And Gilmore finishes at the basket. Got to be stronger with the ball when you're in that post position.
Yes, definitely caught Ben off guard.
Miller throws it high. Smith tries to save it and steps on the line. Over and back. Turnover to the Blue Jays.
Good effort by Jaden. He was working as hard, doing all he could.
Into the backcourt to Foster. Smith defending. Picks up his dribble, entered in to Hetzler inside, and the Blue Jays take their first lead, 9-8. Over to Miller on the right wing. Back to the top. Foster goes for the steal. Bounce pass to Smith. Up to Miller at the top. Cougars reset, being really deliberate in their offense. Stanton. Gilmore. Stanton's able to get it back. Harrell rips it away. Back up top to Gilmore for the Blue Jays. Frederick at the elbow. Harrell one more to Gilmore. Thought about the three from the top. Drives in, tough attempt. Frederick pokes it in the air, but Stanton's able to clear. Out to Burns on the left side. Burns trying to get through into the short corner. Stanton in the corner for three. Off the side of the rim, and Hetzler pulls down the rebound for the Blue Jays. Blue Jays pushing. Good defense by Burns. Frederick there in position for the offensive rebound. Smith reaches in and pokes the ball away.
Strong work on the block by Ben Schumacher to create that opportunity for Jaden to come in and get that work.
Ball pass to Smith on the right wing. Foster defending, over to Schumacher at the top. Into the corner for Smith. Back to Cannon Miller on the right wing. Burns. Stanton flashes to the elbow. Into the corner for Schumacher, back to Burns. Again to Stanton at the elbow. Backdoor pass by Miller, deflected away by Foster. Ahead to Hetzler. Picks up the dribble. Miller goes for the steal. Foster into the paint. And tough finish by Jace Foster. 3-point lead for the Blue Jays. 2 minutes to play here in the first quarter.
No doubt, little bit of momentum for Greenwood here. Looking for the Cougars to.
Smith for three, it's too strong. Backside rebound by Gilmore. Schumacher gives some pressure. Gilmore gives it up to Harrell. Gilmore on the right side. Hetzler flashes the elbow. Harrell to the wing, spins in. Turnaround jumper. Hetzler fights for the rebound, throws it back out, and Foster is able to save it in the front court. Ball to Gilmore on the left side, over to Foster as he resets. Cougars in the 2-3. Hetzler flashes into the paint again. Foster's looking for him, it's not there. Over to Harrell on the right side. Back up to Foster, he wants the three from the top. Off the front of the rim, Burns clears out. Could have been called for a foul there as he clears Frederick out. Cougars get the rebound, out to Miller on the right side, back up to Schumacher at the top. Cougars settle into their offensive half, and timeout by the Cougars.
Ooh, intense first few minutes.
Yeah, Cougars got out to a nice lead with aggressive play by Cannon Miller, 2 3-pointers, and then we got into this lull of passing it around, and I don't know if we just got stymied by their positioning, or we just got some fatigue, and the off-ball players felt like they needed a rest. But we definitely got stagnant.
For sure, we definitely don't look comfortable on the perimeter right now. We look pressed, and we are pressed. Having a hard time, as you pointed out earlier, getting the ball into the high post. Just don't have any comfort there yet. So, looking for the Cougars to come out of this timeout with a better plan.
Okay, after the timeout, the three subs that were at the table check in. Max Long, Nolan Stanton, and Connor Perry in the game. Same five for the, no, I take that back, number 23. That's Lincoln Pinniger in the game for the Blue Jays, as number 1 Gilmore subs out for them. Schumacher over to Nolan Stanton on the left wing. Into the corner for Schumacher. Back to Stanton quickly. Connor Perry at the top. Perry picks up the dribble, gets it to Stanton as he flashes high to receive. Adam Stanton Over to Nolan on the left side. Schumacher back to Stanton quickly. Harold tightly defending. Schumacher thought about the three, goes baseline, and he, with that back step, stepped on the sideline. Turnover back to the Blue Jays.
Tough break for the Cougars right there. Ben had found a little space on that baseline. Was excited to see where he was going.
Harold jogs it into the front court. Over to Foster, deflected by Stanton. Hetzler able to get back to it. Foster to Harold at the top. That's number 23 in the game, Pinniger. Inside to Hetzler at the elbow. Over to Foster on the left wing. Foster thought about the shot. Stanton denies. Hetzler, tough pass in, and he loses it out of bounds. Just a forced pass in. Good defense by the Cougars. 12 seconds left in the first quarter. 3-point lead for the Blue Jays. Cougars with the ball. Schumacher jogs it up. Stanton from 15, too strong. Pinniger with the rebound, outlet to Foster, and that's the buzzer. That does it for the first quarter.
Ooh, feel a little out of breath. There's a lot of intensity there. Well, Cougars are down by 3, but for the number of minutes that we spent with that ineffective offense in the middle of the period, I feel good that we're within 3. We just had a little dry spell, as you pointed out, and things just weren't working. And to still be within 3 points, I think, is a good place to be, considering how things weren't going our way there for a minute.
Yeah, well, was it 8-3? And then Greenwood's been on a 8-0 run.
Yes.
Started with that lackadaisical hold by Schumacher as he received the ball, and Gilmore poked it away from behind. And then the next possession, Kenny Miller got trapped and threw it into the backcourt.
Yeah, we've actually had 2 times the ball's been just easily poked out of a player's hands there at the top of the key. Just something we don't usually see. Obviously, our players weren't expecting that, but I think they're dialed in on it now. I think they're going to have that ball on lockdown.
Yeah, this is one of the benefits of playing these Springfield area teams. That's what I think Fairgrove had a series where they went 7 straight possessions and knocked the ball away from us from behind. And we don't see that a lot here, but as the teams get more physical, you get more and more of that. You just got to be strong with the ball. And as you get stronger with the ball, you end up becoming a better player. So
for sure,
it ends up working out in our favor as we prepare for district play.
No doubt.
All right, second quarter underway. Blue Jays with the 3-point lead and the ball. Foster on the right side. Pinniger flashes to the corner. It's not there. Nolan Stanton deflects the pass. And Stanton all the way in and puts it in.
Great finish by Stanton. There's no doubt he was going all the way. The guy plays with a real intensity, especially to be such a young guy.
Harrell inside to Frederick, down low for Hetzel. He's able to receive the ball, but steps on the line.
Good.
Connor Perry got a hand on it to get Hetzel off his mark.
Yes, good hands by the Cougar defense, disrupting Greenwood.
Hetzler, I think I said Hetzel. Hetzler is the last name. Schumacher over to Nolan Stanton. Into the corner for Adam. Thought about the 3. Hetzler picks him up. Connor Perry at the top. Back to Adam Stanton. Good job receiving high. Up to Ben Schumacher on the left side. Schumacher in the short corner gets it back to Perry. Perry, good hold, gets it to Adam Stanton on the right wing for 3, and he got it.
Yes, sir. That's what we're looking for right there. Cougars back in the lead, 13-11. They'll take a little wind out of their sails.
Pinniger on the right side. Over the top of Hetzler, Stanton steals. Bounce pass to Nolan, and Nolan puts it in. 2 more points for the Cougars. Nolan Stanton providing a nice spark here in the second quarter.
No doubt, big momentum shift. Before I could say it, Greenwood's already calling a timeout. The student section's into it. We got a good showing today.
Yeah, basketball is often a game of runs. Cougars, good job by answering back.
Most definitely. It's exciting to see.
Well, it started with that pass by Foster to the wing. Nolan Stanton just got his hand in the passing lane, deflected it, went all the way in for the layup.
For sure, and he always has a good jump, good instincts for the game. He's always a threat there.
All right, after the timeout, Blue Jays inbound on the end line. Gilmore back in the game. Pinniger stays in as Foster gets a break. Pinniger on the left side, left-handed three. Long rebound, Connor Perry. Good job securing it. Adam Stanton bringing it up for the Cougars. Ben Schumacher on the left side with plenty of space as the Blue Jays stay connected in that zone. Ball inside to Long, tries to find Schumacher on the cut, but over the top of his head. And turnover back to the Blue Jays.
That pass was just a little hot and just a little high.
Harrell to Gilmore on the right side. Back to Gilmore, looking to the short corner for Frederick. Frederick puts the dribble down and picks it up. Back to Harrell on the right wing. Up top for Pinniger. One more to Gilmore on the left side. Back to Pinniger at the top, to Harrell on the right side. Flashing to the elbow is Frederick. Back to Gilmore on the left. Sand comes to defend, Pinniger to Harrell. Harrell into the corner for Hetzel, not there. Steps across for the three. Backside rebound by Gilmore, tip drill by the Blue Jays, and they put it in. Frederick with the finish.
It was great defensive movement to start that sequence by the Cougars. Once that ball got in the paint, though, we were in trouble.
Adam Stanton at the top, setting up an action. Screen for Nolan Stanton to get the ball in the corner. Back to Adam at the top. Good job by receiving on the sideline. Schumacher, 5:16 to play here in the first half. Cougars with a 2-point lead. Stanton flashes to the corner, he's there. Good job by Pinniger closing out. Adam Stanton picks up his dribble, finds Perry in the corner, a long two. Off the back of the rim, and Pinniger pulls down the rebound for the Blue Jays. Gilmore down the right side. Stanton went for the steal, pass to Harrell, and foul on the floor. I don't think that was on Long. It went before Long gets called on Stanton. Nolan Stanton gets the foul, and 2 free throws upcoming. First foul of the quarter. Harrell good on the first, 1-point game. Makes both free throws. It's tied up at 15. Schumacher floats it into Stanton in the corner inside to Long. And the ball stripped away by Harrell. Seemed like he got a lot more arm than ball, but they rule it off of Long on the deflection.
It did look that way to me, and then the referee was motioning to Max's knee that it bounced off his knee. That was the call. I didn't have a good look at it, but that's what the referee indicated.
All right, 3 subs back in the game. Miller, Smith, and Burns. Gilmore inside to Pinniger. Pinniger gets it to Frederick. Frederick trying to find an angle, rises up and can't find the rim. Burns gets the rebound.
All right, here come the Cougars.
Smith hands it to Schumacher. Burns at the top over to Miller. Miller picks up the dribble. Back to Burns. Schumacher dribbles back to the top. Floats it to Stanton on the near side. Adam Stanton rises up for 3. And over the backboard, out of bounds. That's a ball back to the Blue Jays.
All right, still tied up at 15.
Foster to Hetzel. Hetzler. Frederick at the elbow, back to Gilmore at the top. Foster drives in, high off the glass. Frederick gets a hand on it, able to get the rebound. Goes back to the rim, again high off the glass, and Adam Stanton pulls it away. Outlet to Burns on the right side. Burns to the middle. Tries to go between his legs, Gilmore cuts him off. Pass behind Stanton. And turnover back to the Blue Jays. Hetzler brings it up into the front court. Looking for an option to pass. Gets it to Gilmore at the top to reset for the Blue Jays. Foster on the right side. Back to Gilmore. Gilmore pushes in. Tough take to the basket. Can't find the rim. And Hetzler gets a touch. Burns clears with a rebound.
Man, low-scoring game. A lot of tough defense by both teams.
Burns looking for an option. Timeout called by the Cougars. And I'm not sure what we're doing here, but we keep getting the ball, putting down a dribble, and then picking it up with no movement. And we got to fix that.
For sure, and that's not something we normally see from the Cougars, and I think it's due just to the intensity of the Greenwood defense. I mean, they're forcing us to behave in ways that we don't normally act, and I see Coach Harrell pretty animated over there on the bench calling this timeout. I think he recognizes all that, and I think he's over there trying to rectify it as we speak.
Yeah, the Greenwood zone is really compressed. That's why we've had some open threes. Adam Stanton maybe forced a couple of threes. Miller took open threes early.
Yes.
But this is the thing. We talked about it last night during the junior high game, playing on this condensed court versus that New Heights home court. The New Heights home court has that college three, and we all set our adjustments to that college three. It feels like it gives us more space.
Yes.
It draws the zone out also, and it creates some more space in the middle. They're really compressed, but 5 foot behind the three-point line is a shot that we can take as a three.
Right.
And then that forces the defense to come out. Now we have some space, but if we put down that dribble, pick it up, and get trapped, that's not doing much.
Good analysis. Spot on.
All right, after the timeout, Cougars with the ball. Schumacher, corner three, rims around and goes out. Gilmore with the rebound.
That one hurt. It hurt to see that one come out, Brian. It was in and it was out.
Harrell moves it over quickly to Gilmore. Into the corner for Foster. Wants to go baseline. Smith, good job defending. Inside to Hetzler. Rises up from 8 foot and nails the jumper. Blue Jays back in the lead, 17-15. Smith back to Burns. Over to Miller. Closed out for the double. Back to Burns at the top. Smith, one more to Schumacher. Hetzler closes out on Schumacher. Bounce pass to Smith. Over to Burns. Looking for an option. Smith to Schumacher. Open three. And he got it.
Well, that one stayed in. And we're going to need those threes, especially the way we're playing and how we're not having great success penetrating the paint. We're just going to have to shoot at a high percentage.
Foster on the right side, looking for Hetzler. It's not there. Harrell over to Gilmore. Inside to Hetzler from 15. And a nice jump shot by Hetzler. Cougars pushing in transition. Miller slapped away by Foster. And will stay Cougars ball. Again, just got to be stronger with that ball. We can't allow the ball to get slapped away.
For sure, Greenwood has really active hands, and they've been really effective with that.
Flipped into the backcourt. Burns over to Smith. Over to Burns. Smith to Schumacher, entered into Stanton. Finds Smith from 12, too strong. And Pinniger, who just subbed in the game, gets the rebound for the Blue Jays. Harrell. Smith reads it and steals. Jaden Smith, nice finish.
Great finish, man. Big steps, extended arm. Jaden using his athleticism.
Cougars back in the lead, 20-19, a minute to play here in the first half. Pinniger on the right side to Hetzler at the top of the key. This one rims around and out as Schumacher pulls down the rebound. Burns quickly out to Smith. Back to Burns, over to Schumacher. Burns. Inside to Stanton. Stanton looks backdoor for Schumacher. Big block by Hetzler and secured by Harrell.
That was really close.
Pinniger on the right side. Hetzler at the top of the key. Harrell. Could have been an offensive foul. No call as Stanton pulls down the rebound. Went right into Smith's face.
He did.
20 seconds left. Cougars with a 1-point lead. Maybe holding for the last shot of the half. Blue Jays stay in that condensed 3-2. Smith gets the dribble down, back to Schumacher. Schumacher baseline, back to Smith, 6 seconds, into Stanton, turnaround jumper, and deads it off the back of the rim and in. Harrell at the buzzer, comes up short.
Wow, that
And the Cougars go into halftime with a 3-point lead.
That last shot seemed to stick on the back of the rim and then roll in. It was a really awkward angle, but Stanton made it work.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a long rebound.
I did too.
And it just dead legged it right on the back of right in that wedge between the backboard and the rim. All right, we'll take a halftime break here. We have 10 minutes on the halftime clock, and we'll be back for the start of the second half. We'll send you through the first half recap.
Who wants to come up and answer
All right, everybody, we're back for the start of the third quarter. Cougars have the arrow. 8 minutes on the clock. Hopefully everyone got back connected. I had a little hiccup there with the stream. Looks like we're back live.
How'd you fix that, Brian? Did you do the very technical turn it off and turn it back on?
Yep.
Or?
I got advice from IT. Have you tried turning it off?
That's always my go-to.
All right, start of the second half. Cougars with a 3-point lead and the ball. Smith into the corner for Schumacher, deflected by Gilmore. And it's Cougars ball on the sideline. Ball into the backcourt for Burns. Same starting five for both squads. Burns over to Smith. Schumacher to the corner. Floated to the top for Burns. Back to Smith, one more to Schumacher. Frederick comes over to close out. Yeah, I like to see it as Frederick goes out to the corner to be able to get that entry into Stanton. Miller back to Burns at the top. Schumacher on the left wing. Over to Miller. Stanton at the corner. Burns at the top. Burns into the key. Looks in for Stanton. Tough pass, Stanton. Nice job defending. And Miller gets bumped in the air. Foul called on Hetzler. Kind of a unfortunate foul for Hetzler because didn't do a whole lot wrong, but he did run through Miller as Miller got to the ball first, basically.
Exactly. Miller hustled, beat him to the spot. But you're right. He didn't play it wrong, just turned out wrong for him.
Tough pass. Stanton's able to receive it. Thought about the three, gets it to the short corner for Smith. And too strong on the shot by Smith. Frederick gets the rebound. Ball into the front court. Hetzler wanted the three. Cougars close it out. Back to Gilmore at the top. Harrell on the right side. Back to Gilmore. Looks for Foster. It's not there. Back to Harrell on the right side. Hetzler at the elbow. Frederick in the dunker spot. Gilmore into Frederick. Back to Gilmore for three. And he got it.
That's
tied
good.
at 22.
All right, here come the Cougars. Time to get to work.
Smith. Stanton to Miller into the corner for Smith. Bounce pass into Burns. Burns, tough shot off the front of the rim. And Frederick gets the rebound. Tied at 22. Blue Jays with the ball. Gilmore over to Harrell on the right side. Frederick working that end line. Gilmore. Hetzler flashes through. Foster into the short corner for Frederick. Out for Gilmore for three. Cannon Miller rises up. Doesn't secure the rebound. But travel called on Gilmore.
It's a fortunate turnover for the Cougars. I guess they're all fortunate, but an easy layup was on the way.
Yeah, interesting that they didn't feel like that was a foul when Miller got displaced. I mean, you got to give the guy a spot to land.
Yeah, and he was so elevated, man.
Miller in the short corner. Schumacher comes in and gets a touch on it. Last touch by the Cougars. Ball back to the Blue Jays, 5:28 here in the third quarter. Game tied at 22.
Good effort by Ben Schumacher. He does a great job of elevating, coming in, trying to blow up those rebounds.
Harrell being defended by Schumacher. Into Foster. Gets his own rebound. Stanton gets the block. Frederick there. Back out to Harrell. Fumbles the pass, but gets it to Gilmore on the left side.
Good recovery by the Cougars. Way to stay gritty, keep moving.
Harrell over to Foster into the short corner for Frederick. Ball across for Harrell for three, and he got it. 3-point lead now for the Blue Jays. Looks like the adjustment the Blue Jays have made of putting Frederick in that short corner dunker spot and then distributing back outside.
Been effective for him so far.
Smith rises up, rims around Schumacher on the follow.
Great rebound, great follow-up shot.
Harrell flips it to Hetzler. Over to Foster, baseline drive. Trap comes, finds Hetzler. Stanton defending. Hetzler gets in there and rims around the basket. Burns with the rebound. Gilmore tightly defending, knocks it away, will stay Cougars ball. 4:07 on the clock. Greenwood holding a 1-point lead. Three subs coming to the table for the Cougars. Burns on the left side. Miller comes high to receive. Over to Schumacher in the corner. Goes baseline, Hetzler cuts him off, trap comes. And timeout called by the Cougars. Good play by, good decision by a coach as the trap had come on Schumacher.
No doubt. He was in a little bit of trouble down there. Still fighting hard, but at a disadvantaged position for sure.
That's the third timeout for the Cougars, just two remaining.
Down by one, 3:50 to go in the third. Still anybody's game. I don't think it's going to get any easier.
Not many fouls called so far. Been a pretty clean game. There's one foul called in the second quarter. One foul here so far in the third. Subs come in the game after the timeout. That's the three subs, Nolan Stanton, Connor Perry, and Max Long. Same 5 for the Blue Jays after the timeout. Nolan Stanton inbounding for the Cougars. Into the corner, Adam Stanton back to Nolan. Finds Max Long down low. Connor Perry backside fighting for the rebounds, able to secure it, and knocked out of bounds by Harrell as Perry tried to throw it back in. Will stay Cougars ball.
Perry did a good job retracting his hands and making a show to the referee that he was nowhere close to it as it got tapped out.
Adam Stanton back to Schumacher, the top for 3. Front of the rim, Hetzler comes in for the rebound. Hetzler on the left, being defended by Schumacher, back up to Gilmore. Nolan Stanton comes up to defend. Has the count going. Hand off to Harrell. Harrell goes between the legs, able to keep the dribble. Over to Foster, wants the 3. Off the rim, Connor Perry, good fight for the rebound. Gets it to Schumacher, Cougars want to push. Blue Jays do a good job getting back in their 3-2 zone. And the Cougars will set up the half court. Nolan Stanton at the top. Stanton to Schumacher. Over to Nolan Stanton on the right side. Adam Stanton on the wing. Stanton looks all the way across for Perry. Tough pass, stolen away by Gilmore. Hetzler puts it in. Back to a 3-point lead for the Blue Jays. Stanton brings it up for the Cougars. Nolan Stanton on the left side. Schumacher flashes through. Schumacher, good rip to contest, gets to the basket, and a nice finish by Ben Schumacher.
Wow, exciting finish, man.
Trap comes, Gilmore and Schumacher, I'm sorry, Stanton and Schumacher. Gilmore gets through, and Hetzler with a good finish at the basket. Nolan Stanton and Schumacher appear to be trapping him. Gilmore with a nice pass ahead. Schumacher picks up the dribble, gets it to Nolan Stanton on the right side. Back to Schumacher at the top. 1:47 left in the third quarter. Schumacher on the dribble. Into the corner for Nolan. Inside to Long. Long turns, finds Perry from 12. Rims around and lost Frederick. Pulls down the rebound.
It was a good shot. Cougars did a good job executing to find that open shot. Just didn't fall for us.
Hetzler into the corner for Foster, and a big three-pointer for the Blue Jays. Largest lead of the game for the Blue Jays, 6 points.
Yeah, the Cougars are slipping behind just a little bit. Feel like our offense is a little stagnant the way it fell in the first half.
Long to Perry for 3. Too strong. Harrell with the rebound. Quick outlet. Gilmore there. Stanton defending. And Gilmore finishes and the foul. He'll go to the line to make it a 9-point lead for the N1.
Momentum definitely on Greenwood's side right now. Things are rolling pretty good for them.
Cougars subbing Miller, Burns, and Smith in the game. 56 seconds left in the third quarter.
Yeah, good minutes from our bench. Guys played hard as always.
Gilmore doesn't get the roll, but Frederick with the rebound, but it's called for the foul.
Broderick Burns was fighting hard for that rebound.
They've reset the clock to 58, which is more than was on it. So Frederick gets called for that foul. I don't know whether that's right or not, but I thought he gave up vertical position when he went for that rebound. Burns kind of cleared him out from underneath, but I thought Frederick fouled when he went onto Burns' back.
Yeah, and Broderick Burns was actively blocking out when he chose to leave the ground.
Burns gets it to Schumacher, 44 seconds to play in the third quarter. Schumacher back to the top. Miller on the right side. Smith in the corner. Back to Miller. Up to the top for Schumacher. Quickly to Burns on the left. Inside to Caleb Dennis. Turnaround jumper, and he nails it.
Caleb Dennis with that nice touch. He's always solid from that position.
6-point lead for the Blue Jays. Harrell with the dribble, looking for the last shot of the quarter. 12 seconds to play. Now 10. Schumacher defending on Harrell. Inside to Pinniger, and Pinniger makes the jumper. 2 seconds remaining. Smith at the buzzer, and off the backboard, no good. Blue Jays, 8-point lead going into the fourth quarter. Cougars got their chances. They just kind of went cold. Some one and dones on the offensive half.
Yes, Greenwood stretched it out just a little bit. 8-point lead's not what we want to see, but game's still in reach, man. We just got to find our rhythm. I like the last sequence, bringing Dennis in off the bench for that little short jumper. That's one of his kind of most prominent skill sets. He's usually solid for those short shots, and those seem to be there. So bringing him in, maybe he can continue to have some success there.
Get the clock reset to 8 minutes for the fourth quarter.
As I mentioned briefly earlier, I feel like the Cougars just went stagnant very similarly to how they did in the first half. There was that period of time when they just lost their rhythm, couldn't seem to find any entrance into the high post, and I feel like that's where we were again just in the last few minutes.
Yeah.
And that's all credit to Greenwood. That's those three guards playing the top of that 3-2 zone I told you during halftime when we were off mic, seems impenetrable at times.
Yeah. All right, fourth quarter, getting ready to start. Blue Jays have the arrow. Pinniger inbounding for the Blue Jays. Gets it into Harrell. Pinniger gets trapped. Ball deflected by Burns. Smith there. Schumacher gets on the floor. Good pass to Burns. Burns able to get the dribble down, going baseline, gets cut off, and throws it away. Ball back to the Blue Jays.
Very physical defense there. Guys using their bodies and getting after it.
Foster in the backcourt. Ahead to Frederick, inside to Hetzler. Hetzler rises up and puts in the nice floater. Largest lead, 10 points now, 38-28. Adam Stanton getting a break. Miller in the corner, back to Schumacher. Schumacher to the top for Burns. Smith flashes. Miller on the left side. Over to Schumacher for three. And he got it.
Yes, sir.
7-point game. Foster ahead to Frederick. Trap comes, gets it to Hetzler in the corner. Back to the top, finds Pinniger. Pinniger for three, and he answers. Schumacher pushing. Smith on the right side. Smith back to the top for Miller. Miller resets. Harrell a little too aggressive on the defense and gets called for the foul. I absolutely love that call because you can't let them do that at the top. You got to call that a foul and back them off a step.
For sure. We're always going to give a little bit more rowdiness down in the paint, but
Burns rises up from 18. Smith gets a hand on it. Hetzler's able to get the rebound. Harrell. Pinniger for three. Back-to-back threes for Pinniger. And the Blue Jays extending the lead to 13. Smith back to Burns, into the corner for Schumacher. Double team comes. Schumacher dribbles back up to Miller. Thought about the three. Into Dennis at the elbow. Burns. Tough shot, and what a finish.
Great finish. Don't feel like he ever slowed down. He ran all the way through the baseline.
Ball into Frederick, up top to Harrell. Back into Frederick, bounce pass down low to Hetzler. Big block from behind by Miller. And ball out of bounds. Broderick Burns taking a break as Adam Stanton checks back in the game.
Great job by Cannon Miller to come from a disadvantaged position and then still find the clean block without fouling.
Ball into Frederick. Trap comes, and foul called on the Cougars. I don't know which one that's going to go against. Called on Stanton. Really could have been either of them. 11-point lead for the Blue Jays. Big possession here if the Cougars want to stay in it. Harrell into Pinniger. Back to Harrell. Trap comes. Frederick down low, and he finds Hetzler. Another basket for the Blue Jays. Cannon Miller on the right side. Up to Stanton. Miller. Over to Schumacher. Back to Schumacher at the top. Gilmore goes for the steal and knocks it away. Harrell all the way in. Foul called on Stanton, and the basket's good.
Did you catch that? Was there some contact with the body? I didn't see any from here, but I'm sure that must be what it is.
That's Adam Stanton's fourth foul. You mean the foul on Adam?
Yeah, the foul on Adam Stanton just then.
Yeah, I don't know.
It looked like he was playing it safe, kind of staying close. He showed like he might jump, but then he thought better of it, and then still picked up the foul.
All right, 15-point lead for the Blue Jays. And he makes the and one. 16-point lead now. Burns gets it to Miller. Over to Smith on the right side. Miller turns, jump shot, and he makes it. Game is 14, 49-35. Frederick on the right side, Burns defending. Frederick goes into the body, and foul called on the Cougars for a push. Let's see who that goes against. 42.
Gonna be Caleb Dennis.
Caleb Dennis gets charged with the foul.
Well, the Cougars are still fighting hard here, but they've fallen on tough times.
Yeah, the Blue Jays have really started to get out in transition and get into the line at contested layups.
That's for sure. They've also opened up their three-point shooting game with great effectiveness in this second half. I guess what we're saying is Greenwood's doing a whole lot of things really well right now.
Yeah.
And that's no discredit to the Cougars. Greenwood's just an excellent team, and they're executing really well.
Free throw falls out. Burns gets the rebound. Miller back to Burns. Harrell tightly defending, now backs out. Burns picks up the dribble, over to Cannon Miller. Miller jumps through, off the glass, fight for the rebound. Gilmore's there to secure it.
Jaden Smith made a great attempt at that last at that rebound. The ball just had just enough bounce to get over his head.
Harrell drives in, blocking foul called on the floor on Smith.
To your earlier point, he did a great job attacking the rim there. He was coming in with intensity.
Hetzler tries to get it in bounds. Caleb Dennis deflects it away. It will stay Blue Jays ball. Hetzler up to the top for Gilmore. Gilmore gets away with the carry, gets it to Harrell. Into the short corner for Hetzler, I'm sorry. Step through, well defended, but even better take as Hetzler finishes off the glass.
Yeah, good D by Dennis.
Miller. Over to Smith, goes baseline. Loses the handle, and last touch by Frederick. will stay Cougars ball. Adam Stanton checking back in the game with 4 fouls. Checking in for his brother Nolan. Miller into Burns. Over to Stanton for 3, and he got it.
Great shot, catch and release, man. He was put up a great shot there.
Ball over to Foster. Trap comes, Foster steps through, finds Frederick, and Dennis commits the foul as he got on him. Frederick, good shot fake. We'll go to the line for 2. Frederick at the line for 2. Good on the first. 14-point lead for the Blue Jays. Second one is no good. Burns with the rebound. Cougars got to push. Burns at the top to the elbow. Back to Miller. Inside to Smith. Smith finds an angle. Tough shot. Frederick there for the rebound.
Cougars are still working hard here.
Ball to Frederick, back to Gilmore. Harrell. Stanton reads the pass and makes the steal on the entry. Ahead to Smith. Smith rises up to receive it. Back to Stanton. Long 3. Off the rim. Hetzler. And foul called on Dennis on the rebound. Hetzler will go to the line because the Blue Jays are in the bonus.
Well, it was definitely a foul on Caleb Dennis, but I don't think it was enough to drive number 4 to the ground. I think he was putting a little acting spin on that. Well done by 4.
Hetzler good on the first. Back to 15. No good on the second, another rebound for Burns. Burns over to Miller. Into the double. Burns looks backdoor for Smith. And a nice finish.
That was a great look, great pass, great execution.
Foster ahead to Harrell. Harrell to the basket. Hetzler with the offensive rebound, knocked away by Dennis, but Harrell's there to receive it. Inside to Frederick. Back to Harrell. Foster on the left wing. Smith comes up to pressure, knocks the ball away. Foster gets it to Frederick. Frederick could have been called for an offensive foul there, and finally gets called for the travel.
Good intensity by the Cougars defense.
Timeout called, was that by the Cougars?
No, I believe that was by Greenwood. Their coaches wanted to have some words with the officials. I don't think they're happy with the last call. Looks like they called that timeout to have a word.
Yeah, I've done that before. I don't know what he's upset about. Frederick got away with an offensive foul on Burns. Just 2 fouls in the last 24 minutes on the Blue Jays.
Wow. How many fouls on the Cougars in that period of time?
There's 1 foul apiece. Let's see. Cougars have 6 fouls here in the fourth quarter. Not too many fouls called in the game overall.
Mm-hmm.
The fouls on the Cougars have come because the Cougars are pressing, and the Blue Jays have done a nice job breaking the press and then having layups the Cougars have been contesting.
2:07 on the clock.
Burns to Smith. Tough pass inside. Gilmore reads it and steals. Foul called on Smith on the floor as Gilmore steps through. Burns was trying to take the charge, but they called the foul before it. And bonus free throws.
Thomas Gilmore heading to the line, shooting 2.
That's the foul we wanted in the JV game, where you're getting ridden by the on-ball defender.
Right.
And then an offensive foul comes on the charge, but really the reason that happened is because you couldn't be in control because the guy's riding you.
Absolutely.
All right, 1:56 left, 13-point lead for the Blue Jays. Gilmore at the line for a second free throw. Schumacher checked in the game for Dennis. Free throw is good, 14-point lead. Burns to Schumacher. Gilmore closes out on him. Burns into the paint, takes the shot and draws the foul. And
I feel like he got fouled at the elbow. It was a pretty clear push, but wasn't enough for the whistle. But he had to press the issue to get pushed again before he could get himself to the line.
Burns shooting 2.
2 free throws upcoming for Burns. Good on the first. Makes the second. 149, 12-point game. Schumacher tightly defending on Gilmore. Gilmore still in the backcourt, dribbles down with his left. Trap comes, back to Harrell at the top as Miller defends. Down low for Frederick. Frederick resets to the top. Harrell recovers the loose ball over to Gilmore. Foster in the corner, trap comes, he gets it to Gilmore. Inside to Frederick. Frederick goes up. Stanton, nice block.
Great
Gets
block.
just the ball with 4 fouls. Burns ahead, picks up the dribble, looking for an option. Bounce pass into Smith. Smith looking for an angle. Tough shot, Foster pulls down the rebound. Ball ahead, Stanton reads it and gets almost a steal, but out of bounds. Will stay Blue Jays ball.
Adam Stanton was headed for that stairwell. Made me nervous. Didn't know if he was going to get the brakes on in time.
Pittinger checking back in the game for Gilmore. The key moment in the game, Schumacher hit a 3 to make it a 3-point game. Pittinger came down and answered, and then answered again. And two back-to-back threes, and then we missed a couple shots, and we just haven't been able to get back since then. Pittinger to Harrell, inside, Smith reads it, steals. Adam Stanton throws it ahead to Burns. Roderick Burns there with the left. Nolan Stanton comes in and jump ball called. Tigers have the arrow.
Just enough of a push, just enough of a bump to cause him to miss that layup.
Kenny Miller back in the game as Nolan Stanton checks out after doing his job. Timeout called by the Blue Jays. Each team now with 2 timeouts remaining.
Well, I don't ever want to say that a game is out of reach, but down 12 with 57 seconds. Looks like the Cougars are going to have a tough time to pull this one out. Looks like Greenwood would have to completely fall apart for the Cougars to have a chance at this point.
Yeah, you know, you could hope for a back-to-back score here. Score, steal the inbound, score again, call a timeout. And then it's six. Let's say we hit 2 threes, that's 6 points.
Right.
That would be a best case scenario. Then it's a game.
Right. It's going to have to be a quick sequence.
It'd have to be, yeah, it'd have to be a quick sequence.
And it's going to have to be out of character.
After the timeout, Cougars looking to inbound. Miller up to the top for Burns. Burns jumps in the air, gets to the backcourt. Hetzler defending on Burns. Burns spins in the paint, rises up, draws the foul, and the finish.
Chance at a 3-point play here. There's the first 3 you were just talking about.
Take a look at that on replay as Burns spins in the paint.
You know, I started to say this on Broderick's last sequence just a minute ago, but man, he's great at attacking the basket. He really has an intensity to get there when he needs to.
And one is good.
There it is, 3 points.
Single-digit lead now for the Blue Jays. Ball into Hetzler. Burns defending. Trap comes. Hetzler gets it over to Harrell. Harrell ahead to Pinniger. Smith and Schumacher trap in the corner. And foul called on Smith, sending Pinniger to the line.
And the Cougars really turning up the heat here. Not taking their foot off the gas.
Pinniger makes the first. Ten-point lead. Hetzler, the only other Blue Jay down for the rebound. Everyone else dropped back. Another rebound for Burns off a missed free throw. Ball to Smith, into the corner for Schumacher. Blocking foul called on Foster. Oh, fourth team foul. I had that as the third, so the next one, Cougars would be in the bonus. Smith into Burns, over to Miller. Stolen by Harrell. Harrell with the tough finish, and count the basket. Big look on replay as Harrell spins in and jumps into Burns.
Yeah, tough sequence for the Cougars, but you got to give credit that behind the back move was timely and well executed. I mean, he made that angle change at just the right time.
Makes the end one. Back to a 13-point lead, 27 seconds to play. Burns. Ball deflected, Schumacher gets it back. Head to Stanton. Once the shot is not there, Stanton pulls up for three. Offense or defense rebound by Frederick. And that's probably gonna do it if the Blue Jays can get it into the front court. Nolan Stanton will keep defending. Foster into the front court, and that's gonna be the final. 58-45.
Great game by the Greenwood Blue Jays. All credit to them. Cougars gave it their best, played hard at the very end, but Greenwood was too much.
Yeah, Cougars went into halftime with a 3-point lead.
Yeah.
Blue Jays came out and got on that sequence. Cougars were really trying hard to enter the ball inside, pass the ball around the perimeter. What you'd normally think would be a kick out to a three, they would catch, put the dribble down, and pass it back out. And we kept seeing that. And, a little frustrating to watch as a fan. You could hear the little rumblings from the fans about wishing there was a shot taken on some of those sequences.
Yes, and I mean it's understandable. Of course, we want a shot, but there has to be an availability. Got to find that opening.
Hope to see you back next year. At this time, we're going to have our all-tournament team presentations. The first, we would like to present the team trophies.
All right, both teams
2026
receiving their
Classic runner-up
trophies.
goes to the New Heights Cougars.
Adam Stanton receiving the trophy for the Cougars.
Well done, Cougars.
The 2026 Warrior Classic champion, Greenwood Blue Jays.
And well done, Greenwood.
Greenwood brings home the trophy again. I can't remember if they won it last year or not. Rush was a really strong team last year. Rush may have been the champion.
I can't recall.
First, we would like to present the most valuable player of the tournament, and that goes to Callan Hetzler, Greenwood.
Number 4 for Greenwood, Kellen Hetzler receives the most valuable player of the tournament. very tough to stop. A lot of good buckets in this game.
First, Jamison Menadue from Golden City.
Okay, they're announcing the all-tournament team. Jamison Menadue from Golden City.
Stanton, New Heights Christian.
Adam Stanton from New Heights Christian.
Jace Foster, Greenwood.
Jace Foster from Greenwood.
Will Twist, Thomas Jefferson.
Will Twist from Thomas Jefferson.
Ben Schumacher, New Heights Christian.
Ben Schumacher from New Heights.
Orrin Stinson, Lighthouse Christian.
Orrin Stinson from Lighthouse Christian. They're probably already gone. Actually, they played Friday, so they're not in here today. Cole Thurman from Thomas Jefferson.
Connor Taffner, Macaulay Catholic.
Connor Taffner from Macaulay Catholic. I don't know if he'd be here tonight either.
Caden Frederick, Greenwood.
Caden Frederick from Greenwood.
And finally, Spencer Perrell, Golden City.
And Spencer Perrell from Golden City.
I want to thank everyone for coming to this year's tournament. Look forward to having everyone back next year. Please have a safe trip home. God bless.
All right, thank you all for tuning in. Good matchup for the Cougars. Got to the championship game against a tough Greenwood team, a type of team that we'd have to beat to make a deep run.
Yes.
You know, we're right in that game. We're leading at half.
Yeah.
Went a little cold, went a little tentative. You know, that's the biggest thing that we're going to have to learn is how to stay aggressive on the offensive side when a team is going to stack the zone. You know, we opened up the third quarter with a 1-minute possession.
Yeah.
And that kind of set the tone.
Yes.
You can't take 1-minute possessions and be an offensive team, right? So obviously with a 3-point lead starting the third quarter, you're not looking to run the clock out. And so a 1-minute possession is just a lack of willingness to shoot.
Very true. And you see the frustration set in on the Cougars as that long possession just keeps rolling and keeps rolling. And there were several other long possessions, not a minute long, but there were several others. So, the frustration becomes a factor as well. So, good experience, though. Like you said, this is exactly the kind of team we need to be testing ourselves against. And we'll take some good lessons away, we'll regroup, and get back to practice on Monday.
You know, it's a very similar result to the Fair Grove game. We led in the Fair Grove game in the fourth quarter. This game we didn't lead in the fourth quarter, but a team that we can compete with. But they found a stretch there in the second half that we couldn't answer. And then, you know, it doesn't take that much of a lead to be in a position where you got to chase the game.
Yes.
And so we started chasing the game by putting maybe a sellout pressure on the front side, and Greenwood did a good job of handling that and getting to the basket, and then of course causing us to get in some foul trouble. And
they did, for sure.
A good championship game for the Blue Jays. Honestly, it's the way Greenwood won is very similar to the way we beat TJ. You know, pretty even first half, and then just that stretch where it opens up and there's no immediate answer, and then that just becomes the standard for the game.
Yes. Yeah. And then once you're ahead by a comfortable lead, you can play comfortably.
Yeah.
Take chances that you might not. It makes it easier to open it up even more. And even our press, which is usually really effective when we are in trouble, the press was effective, but we had 2 sequences in a row late in the game where they kicked out to a wide open 3, and in both of those sequences in close succession, Greenwood nailed those 3s, and that was a 6-point jump when we were already behind. And so that was a really tough area too. And we don't usually see the Cougars, we don't see teams do that to us, right?
Yeah.
And so, again, all credit to Greenwood, a good team. Still proud of the Cougars. They fought to the end, and that's what we want to see.
All right, so we'll be back in action Monday. Purdy's coming to town, and we'll be at New Heights East Campus Athletic Complex to take on Purdy. Then again, Tuesday night, we were on the road at Thomas Jefferson in a rematch of Thursday's game.
Always a good rivalry at TJ, yes.
And then again, Macaulay back here at Macaulay Friday.
And that's going to be a good one too.
Yeah, so a big week again next week after busy week this week, and then one more week left, and then district play. And we are hosting districts this year in a winnable district, a pretty even match district. We've won all the games we've played against district opponents, but none of them have been by double digits. So when you're within 10 points on a win, that game could go either way.
Yes.
But I do think we're playing better as a team. I think we're learning. Playing these teams like Fairgrove and Greenwood. Of course, we had mentioned Fairgrove. When we played them, their record was, I think, maybe 5-10, 5 wins, 10 losses. But they had played a tough schedule, and since they beat us, they've gone on an 8-game winning streak, including a win against Greenwood. So that turns out to not be such a bad loss as it kind of felt like a bad loss in the moment. But yeah, these are good games. These are better games for us. And then, the 3 conference opponents that we have left, Golden City, McCauley, and Thomas Jefferson, are going to be good tests for us to be able to win the conference. We got to beat those guys to win our conference. And the Ozark 7 Conference is going to be a challenge this year. There's an accomplishment for winning that conference this year.
For sure.
A couple years it's been pretty weak where we've kind of ran the table in 20-point-plus victories. But I don't think this year. I think this is going to be a real battle these last 3 games.
Well, just in this tournament, we've already seen a battle against McCauley, a battle against Thomas Jefferson. We know those games weren't easy, and then we saw we didn't play Golden City in this tournament, but we saw them play, and they were a high-paced team, and man, they made a good showing here.
Yeah, that was a fun game. We didn't have it on here, but we were waiting for our stream. Got started late because that Thomas Jefferson Golden City game just came down to the wire. I walked into the gym. I think it was tied at 39 or 42 maybe when I walked in, and it went back and forth all the way until the end. Thomas Jefferson made some free throws to win it, but 70, what was that final, 74 to 71, and just intensity for a quarter and a half of the game that I watched.
The last 2 minutes and 40 seconds of that game took about 15 or 17 minutes to play by my watch, just glancing at it. So a lot of intensity there, yes.
All right, well, we'll close out. We'll send you through the second half recap, and then look forward to being back in action Monday.
Good night, all.